What's up, everybody? It's VG Clouds, otherwise known as Shock Top. A lot of you have been asking for me to post a YouTube video on how to build an e-cig, preferably mechanical mod with a gripper setup. Well, here it is. First off, you want a mechanical mod. Pretty simple, straight and forward, no computer chips, no nothing. Just pop the battery in, straight voltage. Next, you want a atomizer. I prefer cyclones, as you can tell. I also use the Nimbus and a Trident. And we're going to be doing a build on a Trident today. So what you need is some good juice, preferably VG heavy. Also you need some wick and some wire. I like Eco Wool. Imrati Goldman, he supplies really good Eco Wool, and he can actually infuse it for you with silica on the inside. And then I get all my wire from Solid Vapors. Hit up Nate, tell him VG Cloud sent you. I prefer 0.6 by 0.1. It gives you just enough surface area, but you're still able to use most atomizers with it. Some atomizers have smaller posts, that way you can't get the 0.8 in. So I like 0.6. So we're going to start off. Take your wick, and this is 3 mil. I like my total to be about 6 mil. So if you're using 1 mil, do 6 folds, 3 mil, 2 folds, so on and so forth. Use some basic math. So take a good distance, that way you can get 2 coils on it. Go about 3 inches or so. Cut that off. And then once you get that, you're going to take your wire, so I pinch it in one finger, put the wire on the back side. I don't know if you can see that very well. And then I literally take it and wrap it around. I like to do a 3-4 wrap, which means 3 on the outside and 4 on the inside. Once you get your final roll in, this flat wire is kind of like Christmas tinsel. It doesn't fold very well or stay in shape, so you got to overbend it a little bit, and it usually stays in pretty good. So your wrap is going to look about like this. There it is. So you got 4 on the inside and then 3 on the outside. That's going to give you about 4.5 to 5.0 ohms with a dual coil. I like it about there, so it's not too hot. You get just the right amount of vapor, good flavor. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to do the one on the one side, then I'm going to place it and do the other one on this side. And same thing. Put it around the back. And then I like using the cart. It gives you a little bit more leverage. You can do it however the hell you want. Okay. Once you've got both of your coils wrapped, as you can see, there's one on one side and one on the other. I don't cut it quite yet. I like to stick the one side in, the other side in, clip it down the middle. Once you've got that done, you want to clean off your base. It's a big crucial part, just because different flavors, different VG amounts. You don't want to mix the two. Right now, I'm going to be putting on Alpha Vape. This one's called Hoops. It's kind of a melon flavor. It's got a 70-30 split on the PG-VG, with the VG being heavy. It produces good vapor, as well as tasting delicious. And this one's actually melon medley, something like that. It's pretty good. So, it's pretty straightforward. Your posts are going to have slots in the middle of them, or holes, depending on which atomizer you actually get. So you take the two, and you're going to put them positive in the middle, of course, and then the negative on the outside. And this does get a little bit tedious, so If you get frustrated, just take a breather. Be alright. So, once I get one of them in, I leave it kind of loose. That way it's not sucked up tight to your post. It's kind of have a good little gap right there. You can see the gap between the post and the wick. Now I take the other side, literally flip it around to that, and then do the exact same thing with the other two posts. Now your center post with flat wire, it's going to be a little bit trickier feeding the second one through. I like to place one on top, one on bottom. Other people like to do side by side. It's all personal preference. And as I'm doing it, I like to pull my wires and bend them up. That way, when they start to come towards each other, they've actually got somewhere to go, instead of binding up and hitting your other wicks. Just start to stick it through, bend them up, then you'll gradually pull them together. Okay. If I can get this last post in. And as I said, remember, take a breather if it starts to get a little frustrating. Me, I like to resort to shock top. Okay, got all four of them, or all four wires in the three posts. They're not sucked up real tight, as you can tell. Can't get it to really focus in on that. I'm sorry. And I take needle nose pliers, and what you're going to do is you're going to gradually pull one side, and then flip it, pull the other. Pull one side, flip it, pull the other. And as you do that, you'll slowly tighten your coil up, which you want your coil to be pretty damn tight, but not suffocation tight where everything's touching the base and touching the post. You want enough float to keep it away from everything, but you still want it to pinch and hold that wick in real tight. So a little bit, back and forth. Usually takes, I don't know, a minute or two to get them all cinched down. But since I'm making a video for you, I'm going to try and hurry. I like to start with the outside posts by 2 negatives, so you can cinch one down. That way you've got one coil halfway tightened down. Flip it over, put a last little cinch on this negative coil, and then I like to take and place my finger on the back side of it as I'm tightening it down. That way you know that it's not pushing back. Okay. Now the center one's a little bit trickier, just because you've got two of them trying to pull in, pull out. So I'll do is I'll take my index and my thumb and squeeze. Oh, there's the camera. Squeeze it as I pull them tight with my other hand, switching back and forth, back and forth. Once you get it tightened up, you go ahead and clamp down that middle post. And some will use flathead, some will use Phillips head, some will actually use Allen wrench. Allen wrench is kind of a pain in the ass, but it does keep them down nice and tight. Okay, and for all of you that are some math and science whiz and vapor guru, you're going to comment and say, oh, well, you fucking did this wrong, you fucking did that wrong. Shut this shit off now. This is for beginners and intermediates that need a little bit of pointers, a little bit of help. That's what I'm here for. Okay, got all four of them tightened down. You're going to see a lot of extra wire hanging out. But, as you can tell, they're pretty symmetrical. And that's what you want. And if they're not, take a little flathead screwdriver, or my buddy Sub-Ohm Creature, he likes to use some non-magnetized tweezers. Either way, tweezers, flathead, whatever works for you. You just want to kind of pull them away from any posts that you have or anything else.